control of the cars, the woman says. So you're a man, that's interesting, and I'm a woman. Well, just look at our cars. There's nothing left, but fortunately we are unhurt. This must be the sign from God that we should meet and become friends and be together in peace the rest of our days. And Mary cries, I agree with you completely. This must be the sign from God. The woman continued, and look at this. There's another miracle. My car is completely demolished, but this bottle of wine didn't break. Surely God wants us to drink this wine and celebrate our good fortune. So she hands the bottle to the man. The man nods his head in agreement, opens it and takes a few bits from the bottle and hands it back to the woman. The woman takes the bottle, immediately puts the cap back on and hands it back to the man. The man takes the bottle and asks, aren't you having any? The woman replies, no, I think not. Just wait for her, please. Thank you.
Carol even hated to be wrong. If she made a mistake, she could never admit it. One day, she was walking along the street when she bumped into another woman. She looked at the woman very carefully. Then she said, Kate Foster. Well, I haven't seen you for 10 years. She looked at the woman up and down. But you've changed, Kate, she went on. You used to be fat, but now you're thin. She smiled at her. But you look good and nice to see you again. She took the woman's hand and shook it. But you have changed, she says. I've never known anyone to change so much. You used to have thick hair, but now it's very thick. You didn't used to wear glasses, but now you're wearing the thick ones. She smiled at the woman again. But you're still the same Kate Foster. I used to have a coffee with every week. We had some good time. Did we, Kate? Excuse me, ma'am, but my name isn't Kate Foster. Carol thought a minute and said, So you've changed your name as well, have you? Thank you.
The power of imagination. Imagination is like a superpower that we all have inside us. It's the ability to dream, create, and explore new worlds without even leaving our room. When we use our imagination, we can become anything we want to be. We can be brain knights saving the kingdom or clever scientists discovering new things. Imagination helps us think outside the box and come up with wonderful ideas. Imagination also makes things more fun. We can turn a simple cardboard box into a spaceship and fly to distant planets. We can turn a blanket into a magic carpet and go on to incredible adventures. With the imagination, the possibilities are endless. So, embrace your imagination. Let it take you to places you've never been before. Live in the power of your dreams and let your imagination soar. Remember, with a little imagination, you can change the world. Thank you.
Joe Thompson is 18 years old. One day, Joe is driving his Jeep. He's not wearing a seatbelt. Suddenly, another car turns in front of him. Joe hits the other car. Joe's Jeep rolls over. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The 4th time the Jeep rolls over. The top console. Joe goes up into the air. It goes up high. Joe is lucky. 一闪而known for a汽车体 therefore telephone. Joe has a cell phone in his pocket. He calls 911. 20 minutes later, rescue workers take Joe down from wires. Then they take him to the hospital. The doctor at the hospital tells Joe, "You are fine. No cuts, no broken bones. You can go home." A few weeks later, Joe buys a new Jeep. He loved to drive his car. He always wear his seatbelt. Thank you.
Once upon a time, two cats were arguing what low a bird on the street. The monkey sitting on the branch of a tree saw them. That loaf of bread looks good. I could eat myself. He jumped down from the tree. My dear friends, let me divide the loaf into two, asked Monkey. The two cats asked him be a judge and divide this loaf for them. The tricky monkey broke the bread into two pieces, but one piece was little bigger than the other. Oh no, I will take this little bite from this bigger piece to make them equal, said the monkey. He took a very big bite from the bare piece. Oh, now it has become smaller than the other piece. I will just take little bite from this piece now, said the tricky monkey. The jerk monkey took another bite. The two cats sat in front of the monkey. Seeing the bread they found getting smaller than the smaller. When the whole loaf was little by the monkey said, "I'm sorry, it was really difficult to divide the loaf. I have a go now." The monkey jumped onto a tree and was gone.
他是第一次上台。
A fire engine rest on the street of fire. Its sound was screaming, "Wee-yaw, wee-yaw, wee-yaw." It was 9 hours before the engine reached the street of fire. Smoke was pouring out of a apartment building where many people live. Look, flames coming out of the top floor windows. The firemen quickly connected the hoses and began to pour water onto the building. Then a woman appeared in one top floor windows. "Help!" she cried. "Help!" She had a small baby in her arms. "Throw the baby down," one of the firemen called. He was a big, strong man with wide shoulders. "I don't dare!" the woman shouted. "You might jump in," the fireman laughed. "I'm the fire department soccer team," he said. And for a moment, all right, she said. She leaned out of the windows and dropped the baby into the fireman's hands. And for a moment, he forgot he was and what he was doing. He bounced the baby 3 times and kicked it halfway off the street. Thank you. Patty the mailman was going to the market carrying mail in a pail on her head. As she went along, she began to think what she will do
was a woman who wished for a child with all her heart. She ate a magical gingerberry and soon became pregnant. But something very sad happened. A woman passed away while giving birth to a baby boy. The boy's grandmother became very jealous and did a terrible thing. She killed the innocent boy and blamed it on her stepdaughter. The stepdaughter was very kind and buried the boy's remains under a beautiful juniper tree. Then something amazing happened. A little bird came out of the tree and told the truth to the boy's father. The father was filled with sorrow and anger. He married another woman who was good and loving. They punished the weak stepmother, and with the help of the bird, they brought the boy back to life. From this day on, they all lived happily together. Thank you.
Some children were sitting in their class. This week, the teacher said, I want you to write stories about your families. I want you to tell me about your parents and your brothers and sisters. Lisa raised her hand. What kind of things can I write for my father? She asked. Well, the teacher said, write about his work. What does your father do? He is a magician, Lisa said. Does he do the magician? How interesting. Does he do a magician on stage? Yes, Lisa said. He be on TV too. He is a famous magician. The teacher was very interested in it. Tell the class something about him, she said. What does he most difficult trick? Lisa think for a moment and said, he saw people in half. He put them in the Dutch bar and saw them in half. That's very clever trick. I think he must practice that. Yes, he does, Lisa said. Then the teacher asked her, who else is in your family? There's my mother, Lisa said, and I got a half brother, 2 half sisters. Thank you.
Anne wants to put new vinyl on her kitchen floor. It is a small floor, so Anne thinks, this is an easy job, I can do it myself. First, Anne spreads glue on the floor. Then, she carries in vinyl. Oops! She falls down. She falls right into the glue. The glue is on Anne's hands and legs, but Anne doesn't stop to clean it off. I can clean the glue off later, Anne thinks. She wants to put on the vinyl before the glue on the floor dries. Quickly, Anne puts the vinyl on the floor. It looks great. That was easy, Anne thinks. Now, Anne remembers the glue on her hands and legs. How can she take it off? She sits down and calls a friend. Do you know how to clean off glue? She asks her friend. Sorry, her friend says. I don't know. Well, thanks anyway, Anne says. Bye. When she finishes talking, Anne tries to put on her phone. She can't. Her right hand is glued on the phone. Then she tries to stand up. She can't. Her legs are glued on a chair. Anne needs help. She tries to call 911 with her left hand. She can't. Her left hand is glued on her left leg. She uses her nose to call 911. Firefighters arrive. Firefighters usually fight fires. They don't usually fight glue. But they know what to do. They have a special cleaner. It takes out glue. 3 firefighters clean the glue off Anne. It takes them 1 hour. It is not an easy job. Thank you.
One morning, the mailman walked out to the house. He rang the bell. A few seconds later, the window of the house opened, and the woman put her head out. What it is, she wanted to know. I got a package for Mrs. Smith, the mailman said. Is it registered? The woman asked. Yes, the mailman said. Is it a big package or a small package? The woman thought for minutes. Then she said, "Who is it from?" The mailman looked at the returned address on the back of the package. "It's from Joe's and Joe's in London," he said. Now the woman was very interested. "From Joe's and Joe's, she said. "That's a very expensive shop. What's in the package?" "Madam," the mailman said, becoming quite angry with the woman. "I don't know. Why didn't you come down and take the package from me? Then you can open it and find out." "Oh, I can't do that," the woman said. "Why not?" the mailman asked. "Because I'm not Mrs. Smith," she said. "You come to the wrong house. Mrs. Smith lives next door." Thank you.
Global warming is a big problem that affects our planet. Global warming happens when the Earth gets too hot because of pollution. Did you know what happens when the Earth gets too hot? It can make the weather go crazy. We might see more hurricanes, floods, and even droughts. The ice in North and South poles can melt, and that's not good for liquid polar bears or penguins who live there. Global warming also makes the air dirty, which can make it hard for us to breathe. It's important for us to take care of our Earth by using less energy and recycling. We can plant trees to make the air cleaner too. Remember, we must be kind to our planet. Let's work together to stop global warming and keep our Earth beautiful for all the animals and for us too. Thank you.
Once in the old days of the American West, a small man suddenly ran into a hotel. It was full of men drinking and talking. The small man was very frightened. "Big John's coming," he shouted. "Run for your lives." Immediately, every man put down his drink and ran out of the hotel. The bartender hid under the bar. Everyone had heard Big John and was afraid of him. It was not long before the door of the hotel opened, and a huge man walked in. He was taller and fatter than two men together, and he has two guns on his hips. He has hands the size of shovels, a thick black beard, and evil-looking eyes. He stood by the door and looks around the room. Then slowly he walks towards the bar. Thump, thump. When the sound of his feet on the floor, the bartender heard him coming and began to shake. The man reached the bar. He leaned over it and looked down the shaking bartender. He took a deep breath. The bartender was sure his last hour had come. Then the man spoke in a deep, loud voice that made the whole room shake. "You better get out of here," he said. "Big John's coming." Thank you.
An old man visited a new doctor who was very young. "I don't feel well, doctor," he said. "Please find out what's wrong with me. Take off your clothes and lay on the bed." And the young doctor said, "I'll examine you." The old man took off the clothes and lay down on the bed, and the young doctor examined him. However, he couldn't find anything wrong with him. He listened to his heart, he looked into his throat, he examined every part of him. At last he said, "I'm sorry, but I can't find anything wrong with you. You're as healthy as I am." "That's very strange," the old man said. Slowly he stopped. "Come back tomorrow and see me again if you don't feel better," the young doctor said. "I'll examine you." The young doctor, "All right, doctor," the old man said. Slowly
He stopped up and put on his clothes. Then he walked out of the hospital. The few seconds later, the doctor nurse ran in. Doctor, doctor, she cried. That man you said was healthy has just died outside the door. The doctor saw quickly, then turned her body around so that people would think he was coming in. He said, "Thank you."
There once was a little boy who had a very bad temper. His father decided to hand him a bag of nails and said that every time the boy lost his temper, he had to hammer a nail into the face. On the first day, the boy hammered 37 nails into the face. He discovered it was easier to control his temper than to hammer those nails into the face. He discovered Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. The father suggested that the boy should not pull out off until he kept his temper under control. The day passed. The boy finally able to tell his father that all of nails were gone. You have done well, my son, but look at the holes in the face. The face will never be the same. When you say the things in anger, they leave a scar just like mixed wine. You can put a knife in the man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say I'm sorry. The well is still there. Thank you.
The fire station recruited a new firefighter. The new firefighter was wise and hardworking. After a couple of days, the final training was coming. How would you react if a sudden fire flared up on the front of the building? Asked the fire chief. Bring out a fire hose and start spraying, chief, answered the new firefighter. Great, said the fire chief. Prepare to ask the second question. How would you react if another fire flared up on the back of the building? Asked the fire chief. Bring out another fire hose and start spraying it, chief, answered the new firefighter. Okay, said the fire chief. The fire chief felt weird about the answer. He said, now, wait a minute, sir. Where are all these fire hoses coming from? The new firefighter felt confident and answered loudly. The same place where all the fires were coming from, chief. Thank you.
好，我们请家长保持安静哦，谢谢。
Bananas are bad for you. Abby and Chloe were very good friends and they spent most of the time together. They were both very old and they worried about their health. Most of the time, they talked about nothing else. They worried about their food. Was it clean? Would it give them stomach pains? They worried about wearing the weather. Was it too cold and wet? Would it give them pains in their bones? They worried about pollution in the air. Would it give them pains in their chest and throats? They worried about being hurt in a car accident, killed in the airplane crash, getting sick, and so on. All they could think about was being sick or hurt. One day, they went on a train journey together. We'll need some food. Abby said, we'll buy some bananas. Chloe said, they are good to eat and always clean. And so they bought 2 bananas to eat on the train. They were not long before they were hungry. Abby took out 2 bananas to eat on the train.
And gave one.
Abby took out 2 bananas and gave one to Chloe. And Abby peeled the skin of her bananas and took a large bite of it. At the moment, the train went into the tunnel. Everything went black. Don't eat your bananas, Abby shouted at Chloe. My bananas has made me go blind. Thank you.
How to take care It's easy and we can all do our parts. First, let's recycle. We can put paper, plastic, and glass in the recycling bin instead of throwing them away. Recycling helps save our planet. Next, let's save energy. Turn off light when we leave a room and unplug devices when we are not using them. Using less energy helps keep our air clean and save resources. We should also be mindful of water. Turn off tap when we're brushing our teeth and take sugar showers. Water is precious and we need to use them wisely. Lastly, let's keep our surroundings clean. Pick up litter when we sit and throw it in the trash. This helps keep our parks and oceans beautiful. Thank you.
Honesty means telling the truth and being truthful in everything we do. Being honest is important because it builds trust. When we are honest, people believe it around us. It helps us create strong and meaningful relationship with others. Honesty also helps us make good choices. When we tell the truth, we can make decisions based on what is right and fair. It guides to do the right thing, even when nobody is watching. When we are honest, we feel good inside. We don't have to worry about keeping secrets or telling lies. Being honest brings peace and happiness to our hearts. Thank you.
Once there was a naughty rabbit. One day the rabbit ran far away into a forest. There he saw the spring. While the rabbit was drinking water in the spring, the wolf watching from behind the tree. A rabbit, my lucky day, the wolf thought, approaching the rabbits. You know this forest belongs only to wild animals, like me. Why have you come here to take water from this spring? asked Wolf. The rabbits knew the wolf was a dangerous animal. He wants to eat me for his lunch. I must escape from this animal, he thought. This way, both the rabbits and the wolf looked to each other carefully. The rabbit heard some woodcutter. They are coming the way in which the rabbit and the wolf was standing. If I can keep talking to this wolf little while longer, the wolf cutter will arrive. They will chase him away. So the rabbits. This way, the rabbits keep few more minutes. The wolf cutter arrived. They caught the rabbit and beat him before letting go. The rabbit ran back to his mom. Then he promised his mom never to wander into the forest again. Thank you.
A man was selling medicines at a fence. Many people wanted to buy it. Then, when the man had a big crowd, he held out a very small bottle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he shouted, here is the medicine you have been waiting for, the cure for old age. Drink just one bottle of this and you'll live forever. And ladies and gentlemen, the man continued, I'm not going to charge you $100 for this wonderful medicine. I'm not going to charge you $50 a bottle. I'm not going to charge you $25 a bottle. No. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to charge you just $10 a bottle. Think, my friend, for $10 you can live forever. Most of the people in the crowd did not believe this. One of the persons shouted, it is make you live forever. Why don't you drink it? Then another person cried, said, Yes, you look at least 60 years old. Thank you, sir. Thank you, the man replied. I'm so glad you say that. My real age is 329. The crowd laughed at this. But there were still a few people who wanted to believe the old man. One of them spoke to the man's assistant as she passed by. Is that true that he's 329? He asked. Don't ask me, the assistant said. I only worked for him 150 years. Thank you.
In a small village, led two best friends, Lizzie and Timmy. They did everything together until one day a big fight broke out between them. They were both hurt and angry. They turned to ways and they didn't talk to each other. One day, the village elder noticed their sadness and called them for a meeting. She explained the importance of forgiveness. Lily and Timmy realized holding one's anger was not helping anyone. They decided to forgive each other and apologize. They hugged tightly until all joy filled their eyes. The whole village was happy to see me that again. Thank you.
It was a fine day during the rainy season. Eureka was dancing happily in the forest. Suddenly, he was reminded of his ugly rough voice. His face turned pale and he said something watery. Suddenly, he heard a nightingale sing nearby. Her peacock thought, what a sweet voice she has. Everybody loves it, but when I utter a sound, everybody made fun of me. Just then appeared. The goddess, she asked the peacock, why are you sad? The peacock said, I got such a beautiful body, but my voice is so bad that everyone laughs at it. So this beauty is useless. The goddess replied, you are the only one who is unhappy. Several creatures have been gifted by God with different gifts. You, the beauty. Eagle, the strength. Nightingale, the sweet voice. So on and so forth. So don't grumble over your weakness. Have the way it is and be happy. Rather be satisfied with what we have. Thank you.
Have you washed your hands and face? Yes, he said, show me. He showed his mother his hands. They are filthy, she said. And your face is covered in dirt. She put him into the bathroom. Now wash your hands and face. She said he did as she told him, but he hated doing it. Are you afraid of soap and water? His mother asked him. No, I'm not afraid of rain, he said. I just don't like rain. I hate watching. When he left the house, he was clean. By the time he got to school, he was dirty again. Look at you, his teacher shouted. Your face is filthy. If your hands were dirty too, you're being trouble. Hold out your hand. Billy knew his hands were dirty. He quickly spat on one and rubbed on his bed. Then he showed it to the teacher. This is not a clean hand, Billy, the teacher said. It's a dirty hand in your class. I'm going to punish you. B looked around the class. He now adult his hand in the class. He said, "All right, Billy," the teacher said. "If you can show me your dirty hand, I won't punish you." With a smile, Billy quickly showed her his another hand. "Thank you."
It was the bear prince who wanted to find a magical golden bird which could make people healthy again. So he set out big adventure. Along the way, he faced many challenges and things that tried to distract him, but he stayed determined. Luckily, he had some good friends who held him on track. Finally, after a long journey, the pig caught the golden bird. He was so happy. He brought it back to the king and received a special reward. The king gave him a beautiful golden castle and even let him marry the lovely princess. The prince's journey was not easy, but he never gave up. He showed bravery and set to this goal. In the end, he was rewarded with wonderful things and the love of the princess. Thank you, everyone.
Once upon a time, two cats were arguing for a loaf of bread on the street. The monkey sitting on the bread from the tree saw them. "That bread looks good. I can eat myself." But he jumped down from the tree. "My dear friend, let me to dry the loaf into two," asked the monkey. The two cats asked him to be a judge to dry the loaf for them. The tricky monkey broke the two pieces, but one piece was a little bigger than the other. "Oh no, I will take a little bite from their bigger place and make them cool," said the tricky monkey. The drunk monkey took another bite. The two cats sat in front, see the bread getting smaller and smaller. With the whole loaf eaten by the monkey said, "I am sorry. This is very difficult to dry the loaf. I have to go now." When the monkey jumped to the tree and was gone. Thank you.
Carter family has two girls, Mary and Kate. Mary is a little girl. She's only 6. She didn't go to school. Suddenly, she didn't know how to read and write. But her older sister Kate is a schoolgirl. She's 10. One day, Mom and Dad go to a grocery store downtown. Kate is bored. She wants to watch TV in the living room. When she goes there, she sees Mary is sitting on a table. Mary doing something on the table, and she even doesn't notice Kate. Kate walked to Mary and asked, "What are you doing, Mary?" Mary said, "I'm writing a letter to my friend Rose." Kate is confused. She knows her sister hasn't gone to school yet. And Kate said, "How can you? You don't know how to write." Hearing this, Mary hold her head up and said happily, "It doesn't matter because she doesn't know how to read. Thank you."
A white lie is a small lie that is sometimes told to protect our feelings, while honesty is important. White lies can be used in certain situations. Sometimes we may say something kind to make someone feel better. For example, if a friend asks if your drawing is good, if it's not your favorite, we can say you put a lot of effort into it. This helps them feel proud of your work. However, it's important to remember that white lies should be used sparingly and with good intentions, which is always try and be honesty and truthful. If telling the truth wonders on feelings, it's usually best to be honest. So, while white value of honesty. Let's think carefully before choosing them and choose honesty in the very can. By being honest, we build trust and show respect for others. Thank you.
A farmer stole a cow from his friend and was put in prison. One day he got a letter from his wife. It said, I am worried about our farm now. It's time to plant potatoes, but I can't do all the digging by myself. I asked all the neighbors this day, but no one wants to help us. The farmer thought over and over and has an idea. He wrote to his wife, don't dig the field. This is where my goat is. Don't plant potatoes until I come home. A few days later, the farmer got another letter from his wife. It said, 2 days ago, about 10 persons came to our field. Looking for something. All of them looked very exciting and they have dug our field. The farmer wrote to his wife, at once, now you can plant our potato. He wrote, thank you.
There was a straw, a cow, and a pig. They were all small and lived together in a cozy cottage. One day, a fire broke out in their house. The straw saw a fence and quickly ran to the water bucket. They sang the water. The bear jumped the fire. The fire hit and went out. And the cow saw a cold water casket. It sprang away from water buckets and touched the curtains. Oh no, the fire caught fire. Then the pig saw what happened. It has an idea. It jumped on the cow, knocking it out of the window. The poor beast piled the fire on the curtains. The straw, the cow, and the pig were set and grateful together. Thank you.
You have to take care of the baby today. A woman told her husband, I'm not feeling well. No problem, darling. Shall I go shopping for you as well? Her husband asked. She was very pleased and said, that will help me a lot. I will give you a list for things to buy. She wrote out the list and gave it to him. You can put the baby in the shopping cart, so you won't leave him outside. The man took the baby into the supermarket and put him in the shopping cart. Then he pushed the shopping cart along the road for things to buy and looked lost on his list. At first, all was well, but the baby began to cry. Then he started to scream and scream and scream. Keep calm, John, the man said. Don't get excited. Don't shout, John. Don't lose your temper, John. The woman in the supermarket heard him say these things. He walked up to him. I think you are wonderful, she said. You are so patient with your little John. Madam, I'm John, his error. Thank you.
There was a farmer who sold a pound of butter to a baker. One day, the baker decided to weigh the butter to see if he was getting right enough, which he wasn't. Angry about this, he took a farmer to court. The judge asked the farmer if he was using any measure to weigh the butter. The farmer replied, Honor, I am primitive. I don't have a proper measure to weigh the butter. The judge asked, Then how do you weigh the butter? The farmer replied, Your Honor, long before the baker started buying butter from me, I have been buying a pound loaf of butter from him. Every day when the baker brings the bread, I put it on the scale and give him a cent to weigh in butter. If anyone is to be blamed, it is the baker. Thank you.
Joe Thompson is 18 years
old, and he drives a small Jeep. Joe loves to drive his car. Sometimes he wears his seatbelt, sometimes he doesn't. One day, Joe is driving his Jeep. He is not wearing his seatbelt. Suddenly, another car turns in front of him. Joe hits the other car. Joe's Jeep rolls over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The 4th time the Jeep rolls over, the tire comes off. Joe goes out into the air. He goes up high. There are some wires above the street. One wire catches Joe's foot. He grabs another wire with his hand. Now Joe is hanging high above the street. He's holding on to the wires. Joe is lucky. These wires are not for electricity. They are from telephones. Joe has a cell phone in his pocket. He calls 911. Then he calls his father. I have an accident. He tells his father, I'm hanging from some wires high above the street. Hold on, Joe, his father says. Hold on. 20 minutes later, rescue workers take Joe down from the wires. Then they take him to the hospital. The doctor at the hospital tells Joe, you're fine. No cuts, no broken bones. You can go home. A few weeks later, Joe buys a new Jeep. He loves to drive his car. He always wears his seatbelt. Thank you.
Angel was a very kind and beautiful woman. Before she got married, many men were in love with her. Many of them wrote to her telling her how wonderful she is, how much they loved her and wanted to marry her. She had all these letters. She tied them up with a red ribbon and put them away in an old box. She never looked at them as she was happily married. However, they were a part of her life and she did not want to throw them away. Angel had a daughter, May. She was 6. One day, Angel had to leave May for half an hour. Now, be a good girl, she said. Play quietly. If you need anything, go to the lady next door. When she returned home, she asked May, have you been a good girl? Oh, yes, Mommy, May said. What did you do when I was out? Angel asked her. I played mailman, May told her. How could you play mailman, darling? Angel asked. You didn't have any letters. Oh, yes, I did, Mommy, May said. I found some in an old box upstairs. They were tied up with a red ribbon. I put one in every mailbox on the street. Wasn't I a good girl? Thank you.
Mr. Davis took his young son to a clinic when he was sick. They were the first patient of the day and did not have to wait long. The nurse took the boy into the doctor's room while Mr. Davis waited outside. After a few minutes, the doctor came out of his room and spoke to the nurse. Have we got a screwdriver? He asked her. The nurse looked in the drawer. She found a screwdriver. She gave it to the doctor and he went back to his room. A few minutes later, he came out again. I need a saw, he said to the nurse this time. Again, the nurse looked in the drawer. She found a saw. She gave it to the doctor and he went back to his room. A few minutes later, he came out of his room for the 3rd time. I'm going to need a hammer, he said. For the 3rd time, the nurse looked in the drawer. She found a hammer and gave it to the doctor. This time, Mr. Davis could not keep quiet. But what is wrong with my son? What are you doing to him? I haven't examined him yet, the doctor said. I'm still trying to get my bag open. Thank you.
Carter family has 2 girls, Mary and Kate. Mary is a little girl. She's only 6. She doesn't go to school. Certainly, she doesn't know how to read and write. But her older sister Kate is a school girl. Shift 10. One day, Mom and Dad go to the grocery store downtown. Cake is born and she wants to watch TV in the living room. When she goes there, she sees Mary sitting at a table. She's doing something on the table and she even doesn't notice Cake. Cake walks to Mary and asks, "What are you doing, Mary?" Mary says, "I'm writing a letter to my Rose." Cake is confused. She knows her sister hasn't come to school yet. So Cake says, "But how can you? You don't know how to write." Hearing this, Mary holds her head up and says heavily, "It doesn't matter because she doesn't know how to read." Thank you.
Right after Zach's wedding, his wife's mother came to live with him. She was not an easy woman to live with. She was always complaining and never seemed to stop talking. Zach knew his wife could not listen to any criticism of her mother. "She's my mother," she said. "I must respect her, and so must you." As the months passed, Zach became more and more unhappy. If only he thought there was some way of stopping his mother-in-law from talking all the time. And one day she was ill. She complaining, of course. She was hot, she was cold, her leg and her headache. She couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep. At last, Zach sent for the doctor. The doctor arrived. He examined and then put a thermometer in her mouth. He wanted to take her temperature. "Sit quietly," he said, "and don't open your mouth." Zach watched with surprise as his mother-in-law lay in bed with a thermometer in her mouth, and her mouth closed. For the first time since his wedding, he could not hear his mother-in-law's voice. He walked up to the doctor, pointed at the thermometer, and whispered in the doctor's ears. "How much do you want for that seat?" Thank you.
Do you have someone who is great, spends time with you, cares for you, and is an important person? Well, I do, and she has black hair, brown eyes, and a caring touch. That's my mom. My mom talks to me about many things. One of the things she taught me about is what will happen when I grow up. She taught me what to do in case of an emergency. And one day, I had a really bad day with my friend, and she taught me what to do about it. My mom always laughs, and when she laughs, she sounds like a hyena gone crazy. But she doesn't laugh every day. But when she does, it's hilarious, and I have to laugh too. My mom is the greatest. I love how she jokes around. She is always funny no matter what. And she gives me a great advice. My mom is more than a mom. She is like my best friend. Thank you.
Once there was a boy named Patrick who went to visit his granny for the night. As it was getting dark, Granny said to Patrick, "Oh, Patrick, it's getting dark. Get into bed, put your head on the pillow, and go to sleep." "But Granny," said Patrick, "I don't have a pillow." "What?" cried Granny. She ran to the hen house to get a load of feathers. She made a bag, stuffed the feathers into it, sewed it up, and put it on the bed. "There you are, Patrick," said Granny. "Lie down, put your head on the pillow, pull up your blanket, and go to sleep." "But Granny," said Patrick, "I don't have a blanket." "What?" cried Granny.
She ran outside to share some sheep wool. She named it a bed, stuffed the fat. Then she named it a blanket. Then she spread the blanket on the bed. Now, Patrick, said Granny, lie down, put your head on the pillow, pull up your blanket and go to sleep. And don't forget your teddy bear. But Granny, said Patrick, I don't have a teddy bear. What? Cried Granny. And it's already morning now, said Granny. Thank you.
As a child, Aaron Robert was afraid of heights. One day, when he was 12, he returned home from school. At the front door of his building, he looked for his keys. He didn't have them. It was 3:30, and he paperwork until 6 p.m. He looked his apartment. On 8th floor, he saw an open window. He closed his eyes and pictured himself climbing the building. When he opened his eyes, he told himself, I can do it. 15 minutes later, he was in his house, and his fear of height is gone. Aaron climb was a hobby, and he also made money for the charity. When he climbed, he wanted to send a message to the people. When you have dream, it can be real, but you must be brave and keep trying. When something bad happens, don't give up. Close your eyes and tell yourself, I can do it. Thank you.
Daddy, can I learn to play the violin? Young Sarah asked her father. You cost me a lot of money, Sarah, her father said. First, you wanted to learn horseback riding, then dancing, then swimming. Now it's the violin. I'll play every day, Daddy, Sarah said. I'll try very hard. All right, her father said. This is what I'll do. I'll pay for you to have lessons for 6 weeks. At the end of the 6 weeks, you must play something for me. If you play well, you can have more lessons. If you play badly, I'll stop the lessons. Okay, Daddy, Sarah said. The 6 weeks passed quickly. The time came for Sarah to play for his father. She went to the living room and said, I'm ready to play for you, Daddy. She began to play. She played very badly. She made a terrible noise. Her father had one of his friends with him, and his friend put his hands over his ears. When Sarah finished, her father said, Well done, Sarah, you can have more lessons. Sarah ran happily out of the room. His father's friends turned to him. You spend a lot of money, but she still plays very badly, he said. Well, that's true, her father said, but since she started learning violin, I'd be able to buy 5 apartments in this building very cheaply. In another 6 months, I'll own the whole building. Thank you. Jenny's oven didn't work, so she called someone to fix it. Since she had to go to work in the morning, she left a note for the repairman. Ben arrived at 9 a.m. and read the note on the door. The key is with my neighbor. Leave a bill and I will pay you tonight. Don't worry about my dog Rex. He won't bother you. But do not talk to my parrot. Do not say one word to the parrot. When Ben unlocked the door, he met Rex, the meanest, biggest dog he had ever seen. But Rex was very good. He just sat there and watched Ben work. The parrot, however, drove Ben crazy. The bird squawked
and yelled and called him rude name. Finally, Ben couldn't stand it any longer. He yelled, "Be quiet, you loud, stupid bird." The bird replied, "Go get him, Rex." Rex stood up and showed Ben his sharp teeth. A frightened Ben made it out of the door before Rex could hurt him. He never did finish fixing Jenny's oven, and he didn't plan on going back. Thank you.
There was a magical bird catcher. Trip had built feathers that shimmer with every color of the rainbow. Whenever someone took a line, the bird's feathers turned dull and gray. One day, a mischievous boy named Jack decided to play break. He told his friends a made-up story, and the bird's feathers immediately lost their shine. Jack felt guilty and knew he had done wrong. Curious, Jack followed the bird and begged for forgiveness. The bird agreed, but had one condition. Jim must promise to always speak the truth. Jack learned that lies hurt others destroy trust. From that day on, Jack became an honest and trustworthy person. He realized that a bird of truth was a valuable friend. Whenever he faced a difficult choice, he would listen to the birds, gently always guiding him to the truth. Thank you.
A man walked into a doctor's examining room. "Put on a top," the doctor said. The man put on his top, and the doctor looked at it quickly. "Okay, put your tongue back now," the doctor said. "It's clear what's wrong with you. You need more exercise." "But doctor," the man said, "I don't think—" "Don't tell me what you think," the doctor said. "I'm the doctor, not you. I know what you need. I see hundreds of people like you. None of them gets any exercise. They sit in the offices all day and in front of the television in the evening. What you need is to walk quickly for at least 20 minutes a day." "Doctor, you don't understand," the patient said. I don't want to hear any excuses," the doctor said. "You must find time for exercise. If you don't, you will get fat and have health problems when you are older." "But I walk every day," the patient said. "Oh, yes, and I know what kind of walking that is. You walk a few feet from your house to the train station, a few more feet from the station to your office, and a few more feet from your office to a restaurant for lunch and back. That's not real walking. I'm talking about a walk in the park for at least 20 minutes every day." "Well, you listen to me, doctor," the patient shouted, and getting angry with this doctor who thought he knew everything. "I'm a mailman," the patient went on, "and I work for 7 hours every day." For a moment, the doctor was silent. Then he said quietly, "Put your tongue out again, will you? Thank you."